Howdy do everybody. Welcome to Variety Conversation. I am Lady Walker. So, Eve the rapper, actress, and co-host on the daytime TV talk show, The Talk, made a statement during an interview with TVone's Uncensored that she no longer thinks about race after marrying her husband, Maximillion Cooper. Maximillion Cooper is a British England creative director and CEO of the Gumball 3000 group, which has several companies under it. And the couple lives in the UK, and from their union she inherited 4 stepdaughters from his first marriage. Eve and Maximillion have been married for 6 years and they have no kids together. From what I gathered from viewing a 1.5-minute excerpt from the show, I don't believe Eve meant any harm by that statement, nor do I believe that she meant to be insensitive towards the plight of black people. But many peeps didn't see the innocent in it. I hope she hasn't fallen into a state of mind where she thinks she is immune and can no longer be touched by racism. I've heard that the UK is forever racist too. As a matter of fact, racism is a world problem and no continent or country is exempt from it. Being married to a non-black spouse doesn't exempt a person from experiencing racism. Now, from what I understand, there are the Candy Owens and others like Candy Owens, both male and female, who marries a white spouse, then end up becoming anti-black, downplaying their blackness to appease their white spouse. Now that's self-loathing, and a whirlwind of distortions and fallacies are forever present when a black person looks at black people through the lens of white racist people. As a black woman, I don't have any problem with interracial marriages or relationships, but when a black man or black woman has the galls to put down their black race just because they are married to someone of a different race, that's a problem. I don't think it's healthy or right to appease to your non-black spouse by pretending racism no longer is in existence. I don't even know how a black person can come to such a delusional conclusion. Although there have been some whites who came to the conclusion that when the former President Obama was sworn in as the United States 44th president, that racism vanished, all because he was a black, aka biracial president. But the truth is that racism persists forevermore before, during, and after Obama's presidency, and continue on to this day without shame and remorse. As a black person, being married to someone of a different race shouldn't make one blind to the truth about racism. I don't think that as a black person you have to bring it up every day to your non-black spouse, but when certain situations call for the talk, whether the talk is comfortable or uncomfortable, that conversation needs to be had. Not all black people have experienced racism personally, but I am sure that person knows of someone who has. But that doesn't mean because you haven't experienced racism personally that it doesn't exist. As long as the earth remains, racism will always be a world staple that gives birth to all kinds of social ills and division. Eve didn't say it, but for those who do say that they don't see color or race, is a bald-faced lie unless you are blind. You deceive yourself when you say you don't see color. Also, being of the only race, the human race, hasn't stopped people from being racist too, okay? Again, I will say I don't believe Eve meant to be mean, negative, or offensive about the statement that she made that she no longer thinks about race after marrying her husband. I don't think she was saying racism doesn't exist just because she married a white man. I believe she meant that she doesn't think about her and husband Maximillion's race since they are married. Race just isn't an issue for her. She wasn't insinuating that racism doesn't exist. As a black person who is married to a white spouse, you can never avoid the harsh reality of racism because racist people are not going to let you forget you are black by the way they treat you from an inferior standpoint that spills over into every area of life. And on that note, beloved, that will be all she wrote. So feel free to express your perspective on the topic at hand. And in the meantime, y'all come back to visit me when you can. Okie doke. Ta-ta.